Or so we have the Johnston acquisition property closing coming up in a couple of weeks. And just to make sure everything's covered, I would ask that you add to the agenda an item to authorize the manager to sign all the appropriate paperwork for closing on that property. Item B on your agenda.
You can just approve the agenda with the addition thereof.
So it's a statutory requirement that I present to you a property tax settlement statement for the 2022 property tax year. So you have a copy of that in front of you. For the public, I'll read the numbers. The original levy that we received from Henderson County last August was $2,900,177.21. In addition to that, over the past 12 months, the discoveries, present use deferments, lost, and any kind of charge adjustments came to an additional $83,805.71. Deferments and exemptions reduced that amount by $71,388.78. And over the course of the 12 months, we released for various reasons $4,997.37. So the total adjusted levy was $2,907,596.77. That would have been, if we had collected all of that, that would have been 100% collections as of June 30th. The actual real and personal property collections through the 30th of June were $2,887,477.03. There were no refunds. We collected a little over $19,000 in interest and penalties, and that actual collection rate comes out to 99.31%. We have $20,119.74 to collect as of June the 30th. We've collected a little bit of that. Those are my numbers. They are, to the best of my knowledge, correct. They are, however, unaudited. So the auditor may change any of this. Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Oh. We probably collect them. Oh, I wish I had my other stuff here. I have another report that has it on there. We probably collect half that. Yeah, I think so. I'd like to think so. We make an effort. Well, thank you. Not all of it. And that also is, and I don't really understand it, it's statutorily required for me to give you that figure. But that's interest and penalties collected on any delinquent tax of any year. That's not just on the 2022 taxes. And the penalties are remitted to the school system. The interest, we don't remember. And I couldn't break that down off the top of my head which is which.
The tax collector says, yes, please.
Welcome.
I'll just give a quick intro while she's getting ready. Each year, as part of the routine business of collecting taxes, the tax collector is required to be charged by the jurisdiction of the authority to collect those taxes. So this is a routine act that we do each year. Marla, do you have anything you want to add to the purpose of it? But essentially what it's doing is giving her the authority she needs to be able to go out and collect taxes. And, yeah. That's it. Yeah. Adopt the resolution, please.
I will. And since the audit starts next week, these are also unaudited numbers, but they're, to the best of my knowledge and ability, correct. It just kind of give you a idea of where the year ended. The two most notable things, which you should hear about, are that revenues ended the year at 115.9% over. So that's 15.9% over budget. Excuse me. And your expenditures for the year are at 87.9%, meaning that we didn't spend all the money you allotted us. So, as usual, I would say we're fairly fiscally responsible. Back to your revenues, your motor vehicle revenues are well over budget because, well, obviously they came in at higher than anticipated. And we've only collected, this number only reflects through May. We still have a June collection to get. That comes through from Henderson County. Your sales tax, utility sales tax, and ABC revenues are also significantly over budget, 28.7% over budget. The last few years have been something of a challenge to predict where sales tax will land. We keep being warned that it's going down and it keeps going up. Yay, that's a good thing. Permits and fees are almost double what the budget was, but with the expansion in the community, you would expect it. Interest on investments, again, we keep being warned, interest rates are going down and they're still going up. So we're significantly over budget there and hope to repeat that next year. Even your picnic shelter, park field rental and program fees are over budget. That's in part because of your programmer, starting up several new programs. So they're generating more income than we anticipated, though don't ever expect the park to pay for itself. And that's really the most important part there. As far as your expenditures, most of the departments are below budget, as they should be. Streets and highways is the most significant below budget, and that's because we have to budget for our Powell bill funds received, whether we spend them or not. So that's a reflection of that. And your street light expense. Oh, planning and zoning is under budget. Economic development is under budget because we did not pay incentives to several of our contracts for lack of compliance with requirements. There's certain things that they have to comply with as far as reporting, and they did not. Most of our funds remain at Capital Management Trust. I'm collecting over 5% at this point there. So I don't really see a need to diversify. I'm not going to get that anywhere else. First Citizens Money Market is paying 0.25% as a reference. Anyway, any questions? You'll get a lot more detail in end of October, 1st of November from your auditor.
Yes, sir. So as a quick summary, we have the closing scheduled for August 3rd to acquire the 2 properties adjacent to Town Hall. And with that, there'll be a few documents that we'll need to sign. So I would like for you all to authorize me as the manager to sign any and all documents associated with that closing. Please. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. We have one closing scheduled for August 3rd. I've not heard about a second closing, but it's all. Is that correct?
I've not heard about a second closing either. I kind of assumed since the contract was combined, they originally were going to be 2 contracts, but they're only 1 contract now. And I've been in touch with our attorney this week, and she's only talking about 1 closing date.
Mm-hmm. I've got a couple updates I want to share with you and the public. First of all, we had the Snorkel Trail grand opening, which was delayed because of weather last month, but we had over 60 people come out, from little kids all the way up to retired folks and everybody in between. So it was a lot of fun. Fortunately, the weather held out for us. Last week, I guess it was this week actually, we started our Picnic with Professional program. So the fire department came out yesterday and went down to the shelter and brought a couple of their trucks and showed kids what they have on them, see if they could pick up the jaws of life. It's a good time. Next week, we're doing the same thing on Wednesday. Now it'll be Henderson County Sheriff's Office, and then we'll be doing it the next 2 Wednesdays after that. And they both, all of them start at 11:30. We have movie nights in the park coming back. We've got 3 dates scheduled. August 26th, we'll be showing Top Gun Maverick. September 30th, Guardians of the Galaxy, and on October 14th, the original Ghostbusters, which I'm really excited about. Also on September 30th is the camping night in the park. So we are asking people to register for it, but people can stay after and make s'mores and hang out and then get breakfast in the morning. On the 28th of July, there'll be a blood drive here in Town Hall. And we've talked about it a little bit, but I want to just make it publicly announced that the Local Government Commission met this week and authorized the town's borrowing for the acquisition of the Johnston property. So that was a big major step for us to take, and a hurdle to get over, but it's all done now. So the last thing we need to do is sign the paperwork. So congratulations on getting through that. And then lastly, I'll just mention that the Land Preservation Committee continues to meet. Well, we met last night to go over a revised scoring system and are working to finalize the criteria for what people would need to, how they would apply and what would be qualifying properties. So we've got some work yet left to do on that, but we're continuing to make progress on that. And that's all that I have.